Have you ever sat quietly with a cup of tea in the morning, watching the sunlight slip through the window and wondered, how have I really lived these 70 years? The morning light is still golden as ever, only my hands have changed. The veins showing, the wrinkles deepening, and the age spots tracing the map of time upon my skin. There are afternoons when I sit by that same window, watching dust dance in the sunlight, and think to myself, if only I'd known a few things earlier, maybe my heart would have felt lighter. At this age, I no longer wish to conquer anything. I only wish for peace in the days that remain. A good night's sleep, a slow morning, and someone to share old stories with. Perhaps you've been like me, sitting in a familiar room, yet suddenly feeling distant from your own life. I remember when I was 45. I thought I had everything. A stable job, well-behaved children, a comfortable house, and a spouse who was still by my side. Back then, I believed I was on the right path, that just a little more effort and I would have enough. But life swept me along. Bills to pay, endless meetings, goals set and raised again. I was so busy chasing more and better that I forgot what it meant to simply live. Every morning, I rushed through my coffee just to make it to work on time, barely tasting the bitterness on my tongue. At night, I came home late, ate a few cold bites of rice, and stared at the television without really watching. I used to think happiness meant achieving more, climbing higher, earning greater respect. I did not realize that each day I was trading away the most precious things: time, health, and simple moments with the ones I loved. One evening, my daughter brought me a drawing she had made at school. Just a few crooked lines with the words, "I love you, Dad." I smiled, praised her, and placed it on the desk without a second thought. Years later, while cleaning the old house, I found that same drawing. The paper yellowed, the colors faded, yet those words remained clear. And when I saw it, something in my chest tightened. There are things we think are small, but as time passes, we realize they are the moments worth keeping most. When I turned 60, I said goodbye to my best friend. He passed away after a sudden illness. At the funeral, standing among the crowd dressed in black, I fell silent. I remembered all those times he invited me to go fishing, to walk by the lake, and I always said, "I'm busy, maybe another time." But that another time never came. I realized that some chances never return, and some people cannot wait for us forever. That night I went home, opened the closet, and found the fishing rod he once gave me, covered in dust. Holding it felt like holding a late reminder. We often think we still have time, still have tomorrow to make up for things. But the truth is, none of us knows how many sunrises we have left. Then the children grew up, got married, and left home. The house suddenly felt strangely spacious. The rooms grew quiet, filled only with the ticking of the clock in the night. I began to talk to old memories, to the photographs on the wall, to my reflection in the mirror. Some afternoons I turned on the radio and listened to old songs. The crackling sound of the worn-out record somehow calmed me. I realized that for so many years I had lived to achieve something and forgotten the joy of simply being with myself. I once feared loneliness, but eventually I learned to befriend it. I began to notice the sound of rain tapping on the roof, the wind rustling outside, the soft whistle of the kettle in the kitchen. Sounds I once thought trivial. Now they felt tender and warm. One morning, I woke up and no longer felt the need to prove anything. I made myself a cup of coffee, opened the window, took a deep breath, and suddenly felt weightless. I watched the sunlight spread over the trees in the yard, heard the sparrows chirping, and realized life owes us nothing. It is we who owe ourselves peace. Not everything I pursued was wrong. I just placed it in the wrong order. Happiness does not lie in having more, but in what remains. Having enough health to walk slowly under the sunset, ears to hear my child's laughter, and a heart still capable of love, even in its simplest form. Life, when you look closely, is like a season of falling leaves. Each leaf falls at its own time, not too early, not too late. We cannot hold them back. All we can do is smile as they fall. I wish I had understood sooner that not everything beautiful needs to be kept, and not every loss is sorrowful. Some things must be let go for peace to have a place to stay. In these later years, I've learned to live slowly. I drink tea while it is still hot, say thank you while there is still time, and smile at strangers passing by. I look into the faces of those I speak with, truly listen, and not just wait for my turn to talk. I have learned to forgive myself for my youthful mistakes, for careless words, for the years spent trying to please others. I used to blame myself for not being good enough, not successful enough, but now I see that simply living kindly is already a kind of success. I have also learned to say words of love more easily. In the past, I found it hard to say I love you, I miss you, or thank you for being here. I thought people would understand without me saying it, but now I realize not everyone will have the chance to hear those words. Life is short. If you love someone, tell them. If you need to apologize, do not wait for someday. Sometimes, a single sentence can warm an entire lifetime. I now spend my time on simple things. In the morning, I go to the garden to pull a few weeds, water the plants, and watch the dew glisten on the leaves. At noon, I reread old letters and see my 20-year-old self. Naive, clumsy, but so sincere. In the evening, I like to light a small candle, play a soft melody, and let my mind rest. These small, quiet things make me feel truly alive. Some nights, I lie awake staring at the ceiling, thinking about the road I've traveled. I no longer feel regret, only gratitude. Grateful that I am still here, still breathing, still able to smile at tomorrow. I've learned that peace does not come from the outside, not from a big house or faraway trips. It comes from accepting the present as it is, like a still lake. When we stop stirring the water, it becomes clear again. When we stop trying to control life, it finds its balance on its own. Now, every morning I am in no rush. I sit quietly and listen to life move slowly. I know that everything has its beginning and its end. And it is this acceptance, not fighting, not clinging, that brings the deepest peace. If you have not yet reached 70, listen to someone who has. Live a little slower, love a little more, worry a little less, say thank you more often, and stay silent a little less. Learn to sit still, just to hear your own heartbeat, and know that as long as you can still feel, you are alive. Because in the end, what we carry with us is not what we have, but how we have lived. When I turned 70, I did not wish to be young again. I only wished I'd realized sooner that peace is not a destination. It is the way we walk each day. After all, we do not need to be perfect to be happy. As long as our hearts are at ease, every age can be the most beautiful season of life. And when we finally learn to smile at ourselves, even on the most ordinary days, we have already touched the happiness we spent a lifetime searching for.